Greetings, Danker, Michael, 45 RPM Audiophile. I was getting a bit teary-eyed then watching your video on my boys. This will be a rambling one. I know you know, but I adore KRAFTWERK, idolise them, love them. Whew, getting emotional. So I'm not going to rank them or anything like that. It's just, I'll show what I have left of my vinyl. I did have Trans-Europe Express, but I bought it at the time, and I bought a cassette. I had it on cassette and used to play it in my car endlessly, over and over and over. I wore that cassette tape out. As you know, I had a German girlfriend, Regine, at the time, and I don't know. We went back to her country, back to her hometown, Dusseldorfer, in 1978. And she was friends with the sister of Ralph Hutter, and I've said all that before in a previous video. I will say one thing: I'll never ever forget going over the bridge there in Dusseldorf. We were in Wolfgang's little Volkswagen. We're going over this bridge. It was night time. It was all the lights were lit up, and playing on in the car that was Neon Lights, the song Neon Lights. That's just one of those magical moments in my life. Okay, in no particular order, I'll just show my two copies that I have of Autobahn. We're going to have fun on the Autobahn. Yes, these are 1970s originals. This is not, of course, the original sleeve, which I don't particularly like. I don't, that sort of painting. This to me that's like perfection. None of this is in order at all. The Man Machine. Now, this is an Australian copy on Capitol, but I did have Die Mensch Machine when I bought it in Dusseldorf, a little record shop in Dusseldorf at the time. It actually came out. I was there in summer 1978, and it had come out. I went, oh my God, they've got a new album. I bought it. I wish I'd brought it back because, yes, it is better in the native tongue. But I gave it to a young boy that we were living with, these people who were kind enough to put us up, and he was a nice kid. And he didn't even know who they were. And I thought, how can you live? It'd be like being in Liverpool in 1964 and not knowing who the Beatles were. But he was a nice kid, so I gave him my copy. So I don't regret that at all. I better hurry up because, yes, I agree with you completely and utterly. This is, as I said, to me it's melancholic, it's mystical. Feel the weight. This is an original. I won't open them up, but okay, I will with this one, because this one I will open. Yeah, because it's got, it's there. Varshy Blues. Look at these guys. Just check them out, huh? God, I love them. Yeah, that's a capital one. Yep, yes, I agree with you. That is my number one. For a long, long time, Trans-Europe Express was my number one. But I'm talking 40 years later, I've sort of, I just think this is their perfect album. It's got the original sort of experimentation of the original Kraftwerk, and moving into more melodic, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I would rate that as number one, definitely. And I rate Autobahn as a timeless classic. It's probably better in a way than, but how can you say one or two? And I'm getting all confused. I'm all excited, you know. I rank them equal. Radioactivity, Autobahn. Make it one of those 2-for-1 albums, you know, pressed on really poor quality vinyl and play it on a cheap player. I'm pulling your leg. I adore this beyond belief. This is my favourite Kraftwerk melody song of all time. This is the 12-inch single with all the various permutations of it. It's not this 2000 and something album, which I'm not particularly fond of. I love Tour de France, but I don't know. They were sort of going off track. They went off track after, Computer World. Let's be honest. But I do disagree with one of your choices, which I will mention in a minute. So yeah, that's the 12-inch single. That's my favourite Kraftwerk melody. So yes, this is the 2000 and something, whenever this came out. Probably 2009. I don't know. My eyes, I can't see it. This is a beautiful Japanese reissue of Computer World on CD. One thing I will say, I think they did a good job I think it was 2009 when they did all these reissues. They did a great job because their music is sort of, let's face it, it's digital world, all that, the new world, blah, blah, blah. But if you hear Radioactivity on vinyl and then play the CD remaster, there is a difference. There really is. The CDs suit their sound in that it's digital, so it's hard to explain. But the vinyl, there are things on here you just don't. They have dropped on this. There is purposeful static on one of these songs to sound like a crackly record. It's been removed on the CD. That's why you need to get an original copy of the vinyl, because this sounds. It's not as upfront or clear as the CD remaster, but I actually prefer the vinyl because it's just, I don't know, it has power. I'm getting all confused. I'm like a schoolboy going out on his first date with a box of chocolates and a bunch of flowers. Okay, yes, so not much point in showing these, but yes, I do have them. I adore them. They did a great job. I think these were 2009, these ones. Got them all. I do love their the way they made the covers. They did a good job. I do disagree with you on this. I love the mix. I was a darkroom worker for 30 years, or over 30 years, working in darkrooms for magazines and things, fashion, all this sort of stuff. This album, this got me through the day. And I can't believe this is almost 30 years ago now. This came out in the early 90s, and the mix. And this, oh my God, this got me through those days in the dark room where I was working and I was sweating, and this just, yes, it's not to be taken seriously, I don't believe. It's not art of the highest order, but it's like they're having a bit of a fun on this, and just as just something to jump around and feel, cheer you up sort of stuff. I love it. I actually love the mix. I've seen a lot of people put this down. I don't understand why. It's a couple of these tracks I think are actually almost the equal of the originals. Like, some of these have been changed dramatically, but Autobahn on the mix has got lots of things in it that aren't on the actual full album track, which goes for about 20 minutes. This goes for about 9 minutes 27. And they do something, a little yodel in there that's not on the original. It's just little, I love the version of Radioactivity on this as well. There are differences. I love the version of Trans Europe Express on this. Home Computer and the Robots Computer Love, they're not that different. But those Radioactivity, Autobahn, and Trans Europe Express, there are things on the mix that are different and actually improve on the original. But I'm getting all. I wish I'd get this excited about Herman's Hermit. Okay, a book I can highly recommend if you can still find it. KRAFTWERK, Man and Machine by Pascal Boussy, a French guy that sort of knew the band fairly intimately. Excellent book. If you ever see this, it's got some. It goes through an album rundowns. Telling you about each album, how they were made, and etc. It's excellent. Really highly recommended. And of course, this one I always promote. I Was a Robot, Wolfgang Fleur, and of course, being a smarty pants, I'll just show off a signed copy. I better get going. I've run out of time. Thank you, Mike. Thank you so much.